Līnijas. I'm a project coordinator, and today I will tell you about Rail Baltica Regional Stations in Latvia and their concept and functionality. We are using Slido to provide you the opportunity to ask us questions, and also I will be asking you some questions, so please use hashtag Rail Baltica Academy or the QR code that you currently see on the screen. I will give you some time to get to the QR code, and at the meantime, let's jump into the first Slido question. So I have launched it, and I'm giving you some time to answer. I would like to know, where are you listening from? Because today's topic is kind of local, but not entirely local, because the issue of mobility and mobility hubs is very important all over the world, and we are facing similar problems in many places. So I hope everyone has given their answers, and I will stop the poll. And I don't think I see the results. Okay. Okay, Linda, maybe can you help me? Do you see the results of the poll? Because I don't. No. I'm not sure what I have to do, actually. But okay, so I don't see the results, but I assume that you are both from Latvia and from abroad. So let's move on with the presentation. So let's start with what is Rail Baltica. Rail Baltica is a huge infrastructure project. This is the first and only in Latvia of such scale. We are very happy to have Rail Baltica, and we are putting high hopes on it. This is going to be our first high-speed railway line, brand new railway line. It is somewhere touching our old railway lines, going into the same corridors, but it is also in territories that was before totally without train at all. So the main purpose of Rail Baltica line is to connect Europe, to connect us with the rest of the Europe, to connect 3 Baltic states with high speed and very efficiently with the 1435 rails. Before that, we were unable to do that because we had a different kind of rail width. But today we are focusing on a more local topic, on regional stations in Latvia. And you may wonder, why are we even thinking about regional mobility? Rail Baltica's main purpose is to connect Europe. This is the fast line, which is really great, but we have now this opportunity to build regional stations right now, together with the main line, which is, we are very, very happy about that, because initially we thought that we will not have this chance, that we will wait, save money and do it later, but we have this opportunity, and regional mobility is very important, because we do have some problems with that in Latvia. So why regional mobility? First of all, we know that we have increasing demand of mobility. People want to be mobile, people want to move, people want to go to work to the next town, to the next country. At the same time, we have the necessity to reduce emissions. We need to think green. We need to eliminate bad polluting transportation. And so putting these both things together, we have to start think how to make all those processes more efficient. Also, people, although most people are thinking green and looking how to reduce emissions they create, people still want a quality mobility and inclusive mobility, with which I mean available to all, to people with reduced mobility, to mothers with small children, to older people, and so on. Also, mobility is a great way, making mobility more efficient is a great way how to reduce costs for the economic of the state, because we have a lot of road and all they have to be repaired, and if we don't have an efficient road network, then we are paying a lot of money repairing a lot of roads and never having them done and in a great shape, because we just have too much. Also, the population dispersions and regional development. We are currently, Latvia is facing the situation that people are moving towards Riga, and the countryside is getting more and more empty, and it is hard to provide for example, buses for country people, because there are not a lot of passengers, and then that is a problem for all of us. Also, availability of services. If we have a place where people are getting off the bus or getting off the train, that is a place for growth, for a possibility to provide or offer some services, and this place starts to live. It will start to flourish. And of course, multimodality, because rail is a great way of transport, but it is quite rigid. Where you put the rails stay. So it is not possible to provide quality mobility only with the rail. We need other modes of transport, of which we will talk a little bit later. So, what is a mobility hub? Currently, commonly people see it as a physical place that connects different transports. I can come by car, put my car into the parking, and then I hop into the bus, and this is where I have used the mobility hub. We need to remember that we are currently building a railway that is not for our generation, not even for our children, but for our grandchildren. So it is important to think about the future. And scientists from all over the world are starting to talk about future mobility hubs that actually can be much more than we are currently imagining. Mobility hub can serve as a specific purpose within each respective neighborhood, and it becomes from a place of transition where you just hop from the one transport mode to the other to a destination where you can visit it for different purposes and at the same time use this public transportation. And it can also become a center of community and give a great boost to the area around it. So this is where I would like to ask you another question on Slido, but as I don't see the results, yep, you will see. Okay, I will ask you, why are you interested in this topic? So I launched the question. I hope you see it, and I'm waiting for your answers. Okay, currently I see we have a lot of just interested. We have also potential passengers. I think actually you all are potential passengers, no matter where you are. If you are in Latvia or if you are outside Latvia, still a potential passenger. Okay, we have also spatial and transport planners, great. We have students in related fields, also great. Hope you will be our colleagues one day. Okay, and we have also colleagues from responsible ministries and municipalities. Okay, I will close the poll now, but great to see you all. So, with what I have told about Mobility Hub, I am trying to show that Mobility Hub is something that we should be passionate about. When we see railway stations nowadays in Latvia, they are, I think this is the classic view of the Mobility Hub. And okay, this is a station, you go to the station, you get in the train and you move on. But we here in Rail Baltica really believe that both our and the existing railway stations can and will become true mobility hubs of the future. And what we should aim for. The main goal is to transition from private vehicles to public transport. This is something that everybody knows we should all do, but it's somehow hard to reach. So here you have a list, you see a list how we can do it, but I will move on and tell you step by step how we see we might be able to do it and how we will attempt to do it. So about Rail Baltica Regional Stations. We have 16 regional stations in Latvia. We have 12 in Estonia and 10 in Lithuania. We don't have them yet, but we will have them. And in Latvia, we have, they are actually not all the same, because we have this Riga loop, which is crossing the very heart of the city, and it's in a very dense urban environment. So we are having 4 urban stations, 8 stations that are in a periphery of smaller cities and towns. They are not far from them, but they are not in the center. So we still have to think how people will reach the stations from these towns or cities. And we have 4 rural stations that are really far away from everything. So we will have to think about it much more seriously. So how do we reach the goal of every Latvian using public transportation? First, we provide the basic services. We move people. We give the opportunity to use the public transport. We provide stops. We provide the essential basic things. But also we provide them in a way that gives people the seamless travel experience. That when so people don't have to think about oh my God, if I use this bus, how will I get to the next bus? Will I be late and so on? And thus we need to enable multimodality. And we are doing this currently in Rail Baltica. We are in the process of regional station detailed technical design. We are currently thinking about it and currently trying to find the best solutions. And we are going to be doing this until the third quarter of 2024. And the first step is to provide the space. And we are firstly providing the regional station that is not yet a mobility hub. It's only the first step of creating well-functioning mobility hubs, but it needs careful planning anyways, because it has to be able to accommodate all the needs of the mobility hub and of the future mobility hub with the transport modes that we can't imagine yet even that they might exist. So in Rail Baltica regional station, we are going to have, of course, railway and railway platforms, so people can hop on the train. We are going also to have, of course, station buildings and parking, kiss and ride, taxi zones. So as we do understand that currently a lot of people are using cars, and we don't have such a perfect public transportation system to imagine that now, just like that, in one day, people will hop from car to the bus. That's not going to happen. So initially, it is quite possible that a lot of our stations will be used mainly to park and ride. So people will come by their private cars, leave them at the station, board on the train, and go further on their journey. So we are providing parking with the hope that in the future we will need less and less of the parking lots because people will be coming with a different transportation mode. Therefore, we have also a bus station, bus or a bus stop to allow buses come not near to the station, but really into the station, because this is quite an important aspect. Currently, buses are running from anywhere they run to Riga, and bus stops are on the sides of large roads, and they rarely go off this main route to ride into smaller places. But we hope to attract buses here in the station to provide this seamless travel experience, that I don't have to walk too large of distance from bus to train. And also, of course, there are such transport modes as bikes or scooters or so on, and these will be possible to safely place in our station too. And the second part of this is the service, because no matter how nice and comfortable is the space of the railway station, it needs to be paired with great service. So competitive travel time is what we see as our bonus that we are going to provide. Also, ticket purchase and validation to be easy to understand, easy to navigate, easy to do. It's also a very important aspect that we need to think about. And it might seem that we will think about it some day later when we already have the trains and we will already start selling tickets. But now we have to think about it already, because this also affects of how we design the station. Do we have ticket gates? Do we have access only through the building, or do we provide access from more than one place in the station? So we are already thinking about this. Also, journey planning. This is relates of how can I easily see if I can hop from the bus to the train, and how can I put these put both of those transports together, and if it's convenient for me and if it works. Also, information accessibility. What are the timetables? When the train is coming? How long is the travel time? How much costs the ticket, and so on? It's very important. And of course, comfortable waiting time and the amenities. This is our station building and what we provide in it. And this is very, very important, coordinator and sufficient timetables of different transport modes. So I don't have to wait an hour if I get off the bus, so I wait for an hour for my train. Also, easy access of the station, and on-train services that are very important. Do I have Wi-Fi on train? Do I have comfortable seat in the train, and so on? Okay, moving to next three of how we do it. Be integrated into the existing transport system, serve the right mobility at the right time, be a part of a larger mobility network. This is essential because this is the way we get people out of their cars, even for this last mile, and motivate them taking, for example, bike to the station, not car. Here you can see the pictures of, on the left side is our current bus transport route, a lot of different routes. And on the right is our railway transport route. This is still without Rail Baltica, but we will draw our line in here. And the idea is, and our state is already, Latvia is already moving towards this this approach that railway is the backbone of transport system. And we currently have many doubling routes when bus route runs and is just the same as the train route, and people are sometimes using bus because it sometimes is faster, or the running times are sometimes more convenient. But in that way, we are not doing good for the train services, and not helping the overall transport network. And so by defining railway as the backbone of transport system, in the future, it should be that the bus routes rearrange and become more like spiders that gather people from the areas around the train stations and bring people to the train stations. And we will not have to use the money and the energy of trying to provide two routes of the same kind, but it might be possible to reach more rural areas with the buses, for example. And of course, very, very important is also micromobility, because people in Latvia are not afraid to use bikes, and as long as there is infrastructure that allows it to do it easily, they gladly do it. But it's important that your bike doesn't get stolen, for example, that your bike doesn't get wet, so you come back and you don't have to jump on a wet bike and so on. So micromobility is very essential thing that would have to be boosted in our regional stations. So this part is more for the looking into the future, that the station needs to be able to adapt to changing needs and conditions. This is what I mentioned about the transport modes we can't yet imagine. For example, electric cars already are here. We can imagine them now, and we are planning some spaces for electric car charging, but we are also looking forward and planning for all parking lots to be uplifted to the electric charging ones. We also need to use space effectively. We need to provide modularity so we can switch the functions and services and places so they would create the most suitable environment for the specific place. And also offering additional services is essential because that is a thing that attracts people. If I have not only a stop or a station, but I can do some other things there, some things that I have to do, and then this is the reason why I go to this place. So stations need to be adaptable. And we are trying during the detailed technical design, we are working hard to find this most adaptable and most modular solution for the stations and try to predict how large a station should be in each specific place. So we have 3 types of stations. We have actually 4. The first is our international station. We have one in Lidosta Riga and one in Riga Central Station. But today we are focusing on regional stations. So we have 3 types of regional stations. Type 2, that is the largest station, a landmark station. Type 3, that would be middle-sized station, and type 4 that was initially imagined as a station where only platforms and shelters without building, without station territory, without anything, so very, very, very small station. And we have 4 type 2 stations, so 4 larger stations. One of them is an urban station, 2 are periphery stations, and 1 could be considered something in the middle between periphery or rural station. It's a little bit further from the town, but it still holds the very large potential to reach large flows of passengers. And we have also 6 type 3 stations in Skulta, Vangaži, Iecava, Baldona, Jaunmārupa, and Dimanta. These are stations, and some of them are also so-called double stations, where Rail Baltica line and existing railway line will meet, for example, Skulta and Vangaži. These are stations that we predict initially would not be so large, but with a very great potential to become more important and bigger stations in the future. And actually the same with type 4 stations. They currently are predicted the smallest passenger flows in Tuja, Salaspils, Slava, Aplis, Olaine, Zasaloks, and Ķekava. but they also have the potential to grow, and we are trying to provide this potential. Our approach is to build modular stations. So modular approach allows a location-specific and flexible solution. And currently, I will move back to the previous slide. And currently, we are sticking to the initial size of buildings, with the addition that for type 4 stations, we are also having a building. But we are going for the largest territory in all stations to provide this modularity, so we can provide larger parking spaces, more bike parking spaces, and so on in all those stations, because we do believe that in the future they will all grow into the biggest stations. And the buildings are also possible to, you don't have to, if you have a type 4 station, for example, you don't have to demolish the existing building for it to become type 3 or type 2 station, but you add on to the building, and thus you move up to the next level, so to say. So, and regarding becoming a destination and be human scaled about the regional station, this is something we really do believe that our mobility hub, by being in the center of area, will make this area grow a lot. And we are currently sometimes in the middle of the wood, sometimes in the periphery of the town, but when people start using our mobility hub, the businesses will come near it, and this is also probably important for the municipalities to see this vision that there will be growth in business, in services, and so on around this hub. Therefore, it would be maybe best to plan the territory for such use already, and not give it, for example, to private buildings or something like that. And also additional services will grow, ATMs, parcel terminals, cafes, etc., that are, for example, parcel terminals or post stations are very important for people in rural areas to be easy to reach and to be on the way. So we hope all of these services will concentrate near our stations, thus creating mobility hub, and mobility hub becomes much larger than the station because it all works together in a net. And services around the hub is also just another reason to choose public transportation, because if you need to take a parcel, then you go and the train is near there, so why not take the train? So great, everything is close and easy to reach. Okay, and in conclusion, there are things to keep in mind. With the large-scale project is sometimes quite easy to forget, but we build for people, and we need to remember that stations and mobility solutions need to be easy to reach, easy to use, comfortable to use, nice to use, and also we build for next generations. So we need to think ahead. We had yesterday a great presentation from our colleague Andy. He provided brilliant examples of how to think ahead, so we need to catch the inspiration and continue to doing that. And also cooperation is essential. As I said, we are currently designing only the first step for a good mobility hub. We are providing the space, and we need serious cooperation between states, between municipalities, between businesses, also between people, potential passengers. We need to also a little bit shift our thinking about public transportation to reach this common goal to make public transportation so sexy that all people want to use it. And let's keep things in mind when it gets hard, when there is a feeling that no one will use it, no one will need it, because people tend to think that. And public transportation is cool, and hope to see you in Rail Baltica mobility hubs. Thank you. And now I think we have to see if we have any questions. Okay. What energy sources will be used for regional stations operation? What other sustainability measures will be taken into account for the stations? Okay, for the trains, electricity. For the stations, also electricity, but we are aiming towards zero net buildings and using solar panels, and we are still working on the specific solutions, but yes, we are striving for the green solutions and for the station building to be able to provide itself with the necessary energy. What vendor partnerships are being contemplated to outsource the various services being contemplated for the stations, recharging, food, coffee, concierge, etc. Currently, I'm not allowed to talk about it. There is a work going on to defining what services there should be in the station and how to provide them, but it is still quite early to speak about very specific issues regarding this. There will be services. We are thinking about it, but it's too early yet. So what Baltic or Latvian characteristics are planned in the designs of regional stations? This is a very good question. We have, first of all, I will have to tell that we have joint Rail Baltica identity through all 3 Baltic countries. We have design guidelines that gives us the frame of visual identity, how we should look like. And all 3 Baltic states will have similar stations and similar buildings, somewhat similar. But we will have our national characteristics shown through colors, through our vegetation that is characterized in Latvia. And for example, we will have the station roof. If you imagine this type 2 station with a wavy roof, Lithuania will have a green roof, Latvia will have red roof, and Estonia will have blue roof. So this is only one thing. Also, we are in all 3 Baltic states, we are having a lot of wood in the design. This is not so much national as also Baltic characteristic, but still. And I am sure that in time each station will also gain not only Latvian but hello, sorry. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Let's finish with the questions. Okay. What is the best thing about working at Rail Baltica? This is a very nice question, but the best thing is probably seeing such a large scale project and learning from it and learning from many different people from around the world. So everybody who wants to start working for Rail Baltica, very welcome, and we hope you enjoy it. And this is really a great experience. Okay, what integrated ticketing systems are being contemplated to unify local public transit, bus, bike, or scooter, regional transit, bus, coach, train, and Intel transit? Well, if you mean in Latvia currently, then I don't think we have. So we have places we have internet sites where we can buy different tickets at the same place, but we don't have a lot of unified tickets where you can use, for example, one ticket for more than one transportation mode. But I think this is a very good approach to move to, and this goes well together with the seamless journey experience when you don't have to think where I have to run to find the ticket. Do I have a separate ticket machine? Do I have to find it, or so on? Why Baldoni have bigger station than Čekava or Salaspils? Well, we have such a thing as transport passenger flow model that predicts the potential passenger flows to the station from all around the area of the station. And currently, this model tells us that Baldone is potentially going to have more passengers than Čekava and Salaspils. We have talked to Čekava municipality, and they are also surprised and think that Čekava has a bigger potential. And it is still possible to review these prognosis and these results. But currently it is like that. But fortunately, thanks to our modular design, we are quite flexible with this, and we can change this up quite easily because we are having all the infrastructure in territory as for the biggest type of station. So we would need only to put a larger building there, and the station would become bigger and able to accommodate larger flows of people. Yeah, the live feed was lost at 11:41. Sorry. Technical problems. And live is back. Which will be the biggest regional station? The biggest regional station is Type 2 station, and we have 4 of them in Salaspils, Bauska, Torņkalns, and I would have to think which is the 4th. I would have to, yeah. Okay, I don't remember the 4th. I had it in the presentation, but I think I've lost. I will try to share the screen again with my presentation, and we will find it in a minute. But until Saurieši, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Saurieši. How will the new Rail Baltica infrastructure interface with the existing rail network in the Baltics? Yes, first of all, we are going to have so-called double stations where Rail Baltica line meets existing 1520 railway line. We have such stations in Skulte, Vangaži, potentially in Olaine, and potentially in the future in Salaspils, currently in Skulte and Vangaži. And here, potential passenger flows might be bigger because one train is meeting the other train, and it's a really nice place where to hop on the next train. And I will not be able to tell about Estonia and Lithuania, but in Latvia we have several such places, and also Riga stops. These are urban stops in Riga are double stations where the 2 railway lines are going very closely together, and basically those stations are functioning as one. So people also can switch the directions of their journey there. What role do local communities play in the development of mobility points? I would say local communities play a huge role. First, by believing it to this station and using it when it comes. But also municipalities has this great power to plan around this station, to use it on their behalf, to see the vision, how the area around the station might grow, how should it look like the best, because local communities and municipalities actually are the people who do know the best the area, who do know the best their needs, the needs of their people. And this is why communication and cooperation is so very important, because we from the project may miss something quite easily, because we are thinking about all those big stuff, the main line and so on. So talking to the municipalities, talking to people who know the space is very essential, because we have already started talking to municipalities, and we have gained information. For example, that is great that we have station there, but we have problems with roads leading to the station. So we need as a whole, we need to think about how to get roads to the station. So it will be, so the station would be easy and convenient to reach. So also about the bus routes, we need to think how to rearrange them so they would serve the best to the people getting them to the station. So the role is huge, and local communities as people also is important, because probably they would also, this is a natural somehow a natural process when people start living nearby the stations, and they would want to live closer to the station and use it. So there is no station and there is no mobility hub without people. So those are the people we believe in and we hope for. How will these regional stations benefit businesses and tourism in the surrounding areas? Well, yeah, this is what I tried to explain in this last slide. This is somehow mutually interacting process. When people start using the station or the mobility hub more, businesses have more people to serve. When there are more businesses, more people will come, because they have a destination where to go, and so on. And in this way, these places will start to thrive, and the movement will happen, and people will come and go and use the services. So this probably will not happen in one day, but eventually and gradually it's going to happen. People will start living closer to the station, and the area will grow. Will the mobility points be accessible for people with disabilities? What solutions are planned? Yes, most certainly. We have to provide access for people with disabilities by Europe standards, and we are doing so. We have safety aspects for the railway. There are no one-level crossings, so people will have to reach platforms either from the tunnels under the rail, or the crossings over the railways. But we are providing lift to use for those people who are either disabled, or mothers with baby carriers, or people with bikes. Also, we are providing slopes, so people can use them, and so yes, every part of the station will be accessible. Also, parkings closer to the entrance of the platform also will be provided for people with disabilities, and so on. Is car shuttle service anticipated? Yes, quite possible in the future, but currently not so specific. But the station will provide the space and the opportunity to offer such service. if double station are in Salaspils and Olaina, why they are smallest ones. Currently, Olaina and Salaspils are not double stations because there are some factors why not. Salaspils has its 1520 station not so far away from the new Rail Baltica station. That's why we are currently not planning for double station, but this is still a place where 1520 and Rail Baltica main roads meet, and it has a potential when we see how the line grows, how people are using the stations. It is possible to create a double station there. But currently, also because the model predicts these smaller passenger flows, that is the reason we are currently not planning and not building for this double station. And this is also the case with Olaina. Currently, the predictions are for smaller passenger flows, and we leave this option for the future. We will see how it develops. Will elevators contribute for persons with reduced mobility? Yes, as I said, there will be elevators and other means how to provide all the services for people with reduced mobility. Okay, I think I am through with the questions. And thank you very much.